Hi there everybody, welcome to The Edge, the show where we talk about what gives the progressive self-defense method the edge over other self-defense systems. I'm Michael Valenti and this is Big Mike, and today we're going to be talking about how you defend against the rear choke. Alright guys, so now we're going to be talking about the rear choke and how most systems of self-defense teach to defend against it, and the difference between what they do and what we do, and why we feel that our method is superior. So if he's coming in for a rear choke here, most martial arts systems are going to teach some variation of this, that you're going to pluck here and then you're going to throw them directly over your back. So you can see I can pick him up, and if I just keep going that way, he flips over me. The problem with this mentality is this only works as long as he is standing all peacefully and relaxed and holding me like a good uke. In reality, when people go to this choke, they usually base themselves out, they're pulling back into you, and it's a very sudden jerking motion. And I can sit here all day long and try to pick him up, but I'm not going to because he's based. Okay, so the difference is that we're viewing this choke as what it actually is. No one, stand up straight, no one actually comes and chokes you all sweetheart like this. They base themselves out and they pull you backwards because they're trying to choke hard here. Usually they're trying to hold you so that someone else can attack you, or they're trying to drag you somewhere. So either way, their focus isn't as much on just squeezing the neck, it's controlling your whole body. And so what we're going to do, we're going to start off with the same plucking motion that the other systems will use, but this time we're going to borrow his energy. That instead of me pulling against his energy, I'm actually going to turn with his energy. And believe it or not, my head pops right out of this hole when I make that motion. Now, of course, he can still fight me here, so when I make that motion, I'm going to take a free hand, I'm going to smack him in the groin. From here, I can either engage into a clench, I can go directly into eye gouge, I can throw a knee and run, whatever the situation permits. But the major difference here is that instead of me fighting force with force, which is where I'm pulling against his force, since he's pulling me back, I'm just going to borrow that energy. And by changing the elevation of my head, it's very difficult for him to maintain contact. And a lot of people get worried about the headlock here. Some of you more experienced martial artists watching this video are going to say, well, what happens if when I get here, I'm in a headlock? For starters, the headlock is safer than the sleeper hold or the hanging choke. But also, if we have good movement, our head slips right out. But if for some reason I get so caught here that I can't slip my head out, I'm actually in a better position to eye gouge and pull my head out in this way, okay? But like I said, I've been doing this movement for probably about 15 years, and I've never been caught in the headlock because their focus is on pulling back, not on squeezing in. And so while they're pulling back, boom, you slip out this back side. So it looks like this. He comes in for the choke, I'm around, there's a groin shot, I slap his knee because I don't want to actually hit him in the groin. And then for my taste, I like to move to the back to rake the eyes and then just run. So as you can see, the primary problem with the traditional way of dealing with the rear choke by throwing somebody over you is you are dealing with force versus force. And if you are of a similar size, or if you're a strong person, you can probably get that throw on most people. But I'm not concerned with somebody who's in great shape and, is ready to toss people over their shoulder. I'm concerned with somebody who is smaller and weaker than their opponent. And when you're dealing with someone who's bigger, stronger, and more powerful than you, it is imperative that you never fight force with force. If they're pulling back, then you need to use a technique that utilizes the backward energy in the same way that if they're pushing forward, you want to utilize a technique that borrows that energy as well. And when somebody comes to choke you, they're never going to stand there all placidly like they do during a belt test and hold you like this and let you throw them. They're going to pull, they're going to be violent, and they're probably going to be pretty based out. But the benefit of this head movement is that it directly plays into the movement that they're using. You can either strike the groin and engage, or you can strike the groin and run. And that's what makes this so wonderful, is that it will work for somebody whether they weigh 250 pounds or if they weigh 120 pounds. So until next time, I'm Michael Valenti. This is Big Mike. Fight on. Fucking watching you, dude.
I don't trust you.
Hi there guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're interested in training with me here in Indy, all the information you need to get started is now on our website, theschoolofselfdefense.com. We have our schedule, we have our location, our pricing, and even ways to contact me personally, so be sure to check it out. Also, be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook because we're on that as well. So if you like these videos, please like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Every little bit helps us grow, and we can't grow without you. So here's hoping to train with you guys soon.